Hello everybody, welcome back to week 3. This is ET 120, Engineering Problem Solving, and we're still on sketching, so no instruments yet. We're going to continue to hand sketch, but a new concept. We're going to go into orthographic projection, which is creating a two-dimensional drawing from a three-dimensional object, this being my example three-dimensional object. So we're going to do some of these out of the book, kind of the similar work that we did last time, but this time you're creating the 2D orthographic projection from the 3D object. So we need to think about some different lines we're going to use. Visible edges, edges that we can see of an object, they get a visible line, and that's typically a thick, continuous line. These lines are in the book. If you want to find them and read about them, you can. We're going to focus on 3 lines. This visible line for edges we can see. For edges that we cannot see, there is a hidden line. And this is thinner than the visible line. Okay? Hidden lines represent edges we can't see. Okay? And then also center lines. Center lines have a long, a short, and a long, and they're also thin. So thin, thin, and thick. I want to start to see some difference between those in your sketches. Center lines position objects. So they can position geometries like holes or notches, or they can just position things that we want to make sure we have in control of where it is put on the object. Okay? All right, so let's talk about orthographic projection. Orthographic projection is taking a three-dimensional object and turning it into a two-dimensional drawing by looking at individual sides, ortho meaning 90 degrees, meaning we're looking at it perpendicular to the object, perfectly. All right, and we're going to develop a front view, a side view, right side view, and a top. All right, those are the 3 primary views we're going to focus on and how to organize those. So when we look at the front view, and this will be the front view for the book also, so we all generate the same front view. When we look at the front view, we want to just look perpendicular to the object. We don't see the other sides. We perfectly are looking at that front view. And then we have to capture that on the paper. So if this is your paper, here's your title block. Right, actually, maybe your paper edge is out here, right, somewhere. All right. This is our normal A-size paper. We might work into B-size paper, but just A-size for now, 8.5 by 11. Same title block that we've been using in the past, which I think are a couple long ones and then some shorter areas. Okay. The organization of the views are going to be the front view. It's going to be right down in here. The top view, right up here. Oops, it should be the same size in projection. And then the side view over here. We do want to label our views, front view, side view, top view. And we want that lettering to have guidelines and be very careful with it. All right, that's the position of the views. That may not be the views, right? I just wanted you to get an idea of organization, where this projects up to the top, this projects over to the side. That's the projection part, okay? Any geometry here projects up. Any geometry here projects to the side. All right, so when you draw these, we are sketching, kind of like I'm doing here. Yours will be a little nicer. We want to keep our proportions accurate. That's how we deal with this. In the book, it uses tick marks. There's big tick marks, and then there's half tick marks. So be careful looking at that, because that's how you get the size of these objects, okay? Now, when I look at the front view, from the front, I see this rectangle, right? I see all those edges, so that's going to be this line. So this front view is going to be thick, visible lines, in the same proportions of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2. So 5 this way, and then actually 1.5 tall. Okay? What else do I see? In the front view, I see the hole.